Okay, our affirmation for today is something really important, a really, really, really important reminder. And that reminder is worry is not an indicator of love. Worry is not an indicator of love. I know we've talked about it so many times, but I want to turn it into an affirmation because it's so important to remember. Worry is not an indicator of love. Because when you worry, Aaron, when you worry, where are you on the emotional scale? When you worry, you are most definitely below the worry line or at the worry line, right? You could be anywhere here. You could be upset, angry, frustrated with someone, right? Now, if this is someone that you don't care about, it does not matter, as Abraham says, right? So, yes, Wendy, I know, right? So the thing to understand is if you meet someone, they do something, you co-create, and in that co-creation, you blow your top. You explode, you're angry. But you're never going to see this person again. So it doesn't matter that you had an explosion and you're really angry because you will never play with them again. And so you will not create a little black book of your experiences with them. What happens is with people who live with us, people that we interact with all the time, we have a little black book for each one of them. And soon as we think about them, soon as somebody mentions their name, soon as we see their face, we open that black book and we go down the list of things that we've observed about them. And there it is. You made me angry last time. So chances are you're going to make me angry again. So we open that little black book about that person and we activate each one of those things that we have observed about that person in our history of knowing them, our entire history of knowing them. And that is why I say that you do not allow people to change, because you assume that everything you've always observed about them is true today. You don't allow them change. I know there's something you all allow me change for, and that's my hair, right? But people change, because I change my hair so often. But people change all the time. They change how they feel. They change how they look at things. And that applies to you as well as everyone else. Hi, Nicole. I'm so glad you're joining us from your car. Tasneem, Alina, Wendy. So, Wendy, yes, I know, my dear, but maybe... So Wendy's saying that her mother believes in prayer, and Wendy told her that worry is not believing in prayer. You're right. You're right. Worry is actually the lack of faith, right? So prayer, so the distinction is, and I know you know this, but prayer is us asking for something. And worrying is not going to give us the answer to what we are asking for. So you're right. But for people who don't understand the law of attraction, you have to allow them their own pace of change. Because yes, if you are going to prayer, if you are going towards prayer, then trust that your prayer is being heard. And so that is why I wrote that book, How to Pray So That God Listens, because people a lot of times get prayer mixed up. See, if you're worrying, you are actually complaining because you're saying to God that what I want, you have not given me what I want. So worry is a complaint. So, Wendy, I would ask your mother, Mom, do you think this entity that we call God, that we want to trust, do you think that God is all loving? And of course, she's going to say yes. And then you say to her, and do you think that God is listening? And she will say yes, God listens. And then you say to her, and do you think God only listens when you're praying, or do you think God is listening all the time? The answer should be, God is listening all the time. And so, Mom, God is listening not only when you sit in prayer, but God is also listening to every thought you think outside of your prayer time. And so, do you think God responds better to complaining, or God responds better to gratitude? What do you think the answer is going to be, right? So, Mom, when you're worrying, you're complaining. That's the opposite of gratitude. So, Mom, maybe we should stop complaining, right? Yes, Wendy, I love that book as well. Tasneem, me, yes, thank you. I'm glad you guys love the book, because it is that book creates a bridge between those people who are extremely religious and law of attraction, because they all understand the power of being grateful, the power of giving thanks. And they forget that when they are complaining, they are not giving thanks, right? So a little bit of a reminder goes a long way. So that's why worry is not an indicator of love, because worry and love are very different emotions. I say this so many times to people who say to me, a lot of times in a breakup, when somebody's gone, this person who is left behind is saying, I want you back in my life. I'm dying. I am dying because I want you back in my life. That is how much I love you. But if you're dying, if your head is on fire, where are you on the emotional scale? Where's love on the emotional scale? So, if you're over here thinking about this person that you love so much, but if you're over here, you're not sending them your love. You're sending them anger, fear, pain. And they are receiving it because everyone has this antenna. Everybody has an antenna. Now, I want to clarify here. When you send someone a negative thought, their antenna captures it. They don't necessarily know that it's coming from you, and they don't necessarily know what you are thinking unless they have practiced, right? So they don't know what your words were, what you were thinking. So all they get is a feeling in their hearts that does not feel good. Well, if you want this person to start loving you again, what does that mean? Well, that means this person has to come over here at the top of the emotional scale. But if their antenna is picking up negative energy all the time, where do you think that negative energy is taking them? They're having to work not only against their own negative thoughts, but against the negative energy that you are sending them. They have to combat both those in order to rise up the emotional scale. So you actually make it harder for your loved one to go up the emotional scale. So don't do that, because what do you want? You want them to come back. They're not going to come back if you keep sending them the pain of your love. They will only ever come back to you if you send them love. Because when you send them love, you're helping them up the emotional scale, and they are absolutely more likely to return your love when they themselves are up here. And you are also up here. You cannot have anyone return your love from here. That's not love. That's abuse. That's dependency. That is not love. And so when you are worrying, you are sending that vibration to another person and making their life harder. So stop it. Don't do that, because it is the opposite of what you want to receive from them. Kind of lost track of time. I do have to get to work, you know. Hang on, let's see. Oh, that's gone. All right. So, you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? That worry is not good for you, and it is not good for the person that you are worrying about. Worry is just not a good thing. And if you stay on the vibration of worry, that vibration is now active inside you, and all the subjects in your life are vibrating towards it. All good things. So if there were good things over here, they're coming down. So stop it, because it's not going to help. It's not going to serve you at all. Tasneem, how do you deal with people who equate care with worry? You don't. You can never change them. You can only change yourself. You can only change yourself. You don't, and what you do is you teach from the power of your own experience. People say this about me all the time, that I'm very calm, and that when they are with me, they start feeling calm. And isn't that a good thing? Right? Because if you can be calm and people feel comfortable because you're calm, you make them feel better, then they are going to come to you and ask for hugs. Right? Because when you hug them, they feel as if everything is melting away. All their cares are melting away. And that is amazing. That is an amazing sensation for them. And so when that happens, it returns them to a place of love, and now they can send you love. Right? That's important to remember.